Hey everybody, welcome to Soulight Hypnotherapy. My name is Kirsten. I have another Trump related reading for you. Um, I laid these cards yesterday, Monday, the 29th of April. Um, and I guess so. This is like just what's around his presidency this week, the next 5 days. So we've got using the Deviant Moon Tarot today, the Sibilla and Divina, and the La Vera Sibilla down here. So we start off with the Knight of Swords. I just have 5 cards, and they're clarified by the Sibyllas. I feel like this is Trump, but it could be representing other people as well. It seems like Trump's coming right out of the gate after Congress, comes back from their break with his teeth bared. Remember, I laid these cards yesterday, so some of this is already kind of taken place. With his teeth bared, and he comes out ready for a fight. Maybe this is both sides, really. I feel like Trump and his legal team, they're taking some sort of formal, swift legal action, perhaps against Congress or someone else. Could be a female or two different females. Here's one and here's one. Um, one of the females might be um, a water sign with light hair, and another one could be a fire sign with dark hair. You can see this here. I'm referring to this card down here. I'm sorry, I know it's a little low for you to see. All right. So I feel like Trump or someone is communicating very aggressively in a kind of a legal manner, but also maybe just with rhetoric as well, aggressively and rudely um, in response to legal actions or legal troubles, and in response to perhaps these two female individuals who seem to be around him. I feel like Trump and his team, they're in a hurry to get out ahead of something, to sow discord and to take direct aim at, can hardly see it here, but he's kind of taking direct aim at this party of people. It's a party of people, right? But it's reversed, so it would be a party of people who aren't on his side, so it would be the opposing party, the Democrats. Weaponizing words, and um, you can hear the deep breathing. It's my dog asleep. It's early still, and she likes to sleep in. Um, Weaponizing words, weaponizing emotions, and perhaps even weaponizing guns. So, on another layer, this could be someone else weaponizing guns towards a group of people. Um, but back to Trump. I feel like I clarified this Knight of Swords. Can you see that? Okay. It's hard to press these with one hand. I clarified the Knight of Swords with the Quarrel card. I'm just going to leave it there, which is also known as litigation in Sibilla and Divina. So this could be some sort of coordinated legal attack or even a coordinated military attack on some level. And watching the news this morning, there's this Venezuelan coup outbreak going on. So there you go. There's that coup showing up in the reading. I would not have gotten that. I did see military and fighting, but I was just going to focus on Trump's presidency and the legal issues. But here is that coup in Venezuela. Interesting, isn't it? I mean, tarot reveals so much after the fact. I mean, if only we could like really, really catch it all every time before it happens, you know. But sometimes the signs are difficult to read if you're not involved. But this was really a general question, just what's around Trump. So general stuff will come out. no real specific question was asked, okay, in this reading. So, but I'm seeing an aggressive party here, an aggressive party. They are in agreement on how they will attack opposing party, both verbally and legally, okay? Um, and the disputes or the suits that are rendered are fueled with anger and accusation. So I feel like Congress is in battle. It's funny. I'm almost getting a Game of Thrones Dothraki moment here, with Jorah on his horse waiting for the White Walkers to come forward and attack. I feel like Congress is like there's a war going on now, a battle in Congress, um, on some level, a type of war. The two sides clashing and at war with one another, and neither team is backing down. The enforcement of legal will is in action here, um, and it's from both sides. I see a lot of bickering, a lot of infighting and pressure, but as well as between sides, but also within the same team, and pressure for colleagues to stay unified, hold until you see the whites of their eyes. Kind of like that. Wait for it moment. But emotionally, this card tells me that Trump or someone else, uh, could even be the individuals within the parties, both sides, Democrats, Republicans. And now we're seeing this Venezuela thing, but we're not going to go there. Feel that they're doomed to fail. They're doomed to fail. So one side does feel like they're fighting a losing battle. Interesting. But this is also a battle call or roar of Trump to one of his opponents. You're doomed to fail. Maybe not in those exact words, but he's saying this aggressively to someone. It could be to an individual or to several people. It's, like I said, a part of his rhetoric. Perhaps this is something he's saying at a rally or something that he's saying to an opposing 2020 candidate. You're doomed to fail. It feels like his ego is through the roof. And I'm feeling like someone's ego is through the roof. And I'm getting a little bar feel here. Someone's ego is through the roof. It could be someone else. It could be someone else. All right. It just has to play out, guys. And there's so many players. I can just give you the energy of what's around this presidency this week. Someone's ego is through the roof, and I want to say they've got real big balls or some kind of nerve, or maybe the word I'm looking for is gall, to say what they're saying and to do what it is they're doing or what they're attempting to do. Wow, is kind of like the feeling I'm getting. But I see a lot of squabbles, disputes, and dissent within the House, within the country, and between prosecutors and accusers, and within the family. Um, Going back to this party card here. Going back to this party card here, which clarifies these events up here. We've got the happiness of the heart reversed. So this talks about instability amongst the people, instability amongst the public, instability and stress, insecurity, and betrayals within the party, between party members or family members. It's an unrealistic fight. Like I said, you're doomed to fail is the energy I'm picking up. An unrealistic fight, this attack, this suit, this argument, or this coup. And one's close friends or colleagues are not to be trusted, to remain unified till the end. They're not to be trusted to not communicate or comply. So I feel that this is saying there will be those within Trump's party who do accept Congress's invitations to speak despite warnings or threats or aggressive attacks from Trump and his White Walkers. We'll just call them his minions, his White Walkers. So they're trying to intimidate, I guess, in a sense. Not really intimidate. They're actually going after pretty strongly and saying, you know, you don't break lines. Don't break lines. That's what, yeah, don't break lines. And it's kind of like a, on both sides. Both sides are doing it in a sense, having the same sort of conversation with their members. Show unification and follow my orders. So let's talk about this Queen of Cups here. This could be a woman. This could represent Congress. This could represent a woman or someone who doesn't have to be a woman. It could be someone who is trying to offer help, support, counsel, and advice to Trump, to the other side, to this coup or whatever in Venezuela. I guess that's showing up now. In this case, I feel that this energy is making an invitation, though, to Trump, because we're just talking about his presidency. An invitation to Trump and his White Walkers, and like I said, some hold the line. Don't comply to this invitation. It's formal and it's polite, but and she is following protocol, or Congress is following protocol, but they have been waiting. They've been waiting for so long. This is the waiting card. Waiting for this in torment. And something is offered here by, I feel, the Democrats or by this woman. But it looks like it's being refused or ignored by Trump and his White Walkers. Perhaps even attacked. Could be legally, when I say attacked, but could be verbally or legally. There's been so many delays, so much waiting. And I get the energy from this Queen of Cups here. Maybe it's Pelosi, maybe it's someone else. Of this is really disrespectful. You're disrespecting my kind invitation, my polite, formal request. And it's almost motherly energy, like a mother who has to deal with an unruly child. And she's going to give him one more chance before she shows him who's boss and puts the smack down. Because this disrespect for my position and this authority will not be tolerated. Okay? And again, I'm feeling like this Pelosi, I'm feeling this Congress, I'm feeling like this could be some other woman or some other person. But she's giving him one more chance. They're being too polite. Democrats are being too polite. You guys gotta stop being so polite. But she's reached her limit. I feel like this energy has reached its limit. You got one more chance, is the energy I'm getting. Because they're growing restless of these warlike tactics, of these delay tactics and these defensive tactics. So, Justice is the next card that's up. Justice can represent a big legal decision, or someone has a big decision to make. It's next to this Congress, it's next to the female. A big decision to make, right? They're weighing up and deciding now what to do. A trial could be a trial, invitation to come forth. And Mika is inviting. This is an inviting to come and sit and talk to Congress. This could be a justice or an attorney or a judge. Okay? And I probably haven't said it. If you're new to my channel, it's all of these things. It's all of these things. It's not just one. It's not, it could be this or it could be that. It's on some level, it's all of these things. There's different players and different layers in one section of the reading. By the way, I noticed when I've been doing these streams, I haven't been asking you guys to subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to Soulight Hypnotherapy if you haven't already. Please share my videos with your friends. Please share my videos on your Facebook with your like-minded friends. Help me to grow my channel. If you'd like to support the channel, there's a donate button on the home page, or you can join me on Patreon and support the channel on a monthly basis for $5. I really appreciate everyone's support, everyone who's given back to the channel, and just want to tell you, shout outs, love you all. And please leave your comments, and don't forget to share. All right. And I'm selling these wonderful love attraction candles. I posted a little infomercial, which I'll link to the end of this video. Please have a look at the commercial, and if your love life needs some reinventing or some spice, maybe you haven't had any romance for a while, consider utilizing these candles and drawing and attracting true love and romance into your life this year. Okay, so please check out that infomercial at the end of this video. All right, back to the reading. So I told you who this could be representing: a block of people or entities, a trial, Congress, the hearings, and this big major decision, right, that perhaps this woman or Congress has to make, of great importance to Trump, because this is Trump's reading and Trump about his presidency. Clarifying this justice card, we have gifts and we have the gifts of precious stones. Isn't that funny? The same cards, but they clarify the same thing. I love Sibilla's. They're just such a mystery to me. I wish I could learn more about them, but everything is in Italian. Anyway, I don't think I need to see this card, so I'm just going to lift this up so you can see. Both cards are gifts. So they both represent gifts. They both represent opportunities or objects or even advice that's precious. It could represent a legal gift or offering or opportunity. Let me help you. Could it represent a big deal? And I know, yeah, so I was watching news this morning, so I know that Congress is meeting right now about a big deal with Trump. A big deal is being discussed. And this is probably a lot of money that's about to be offered or given to support something. I feel that even though there is some things to be negotiated and worked out, it's not going to be unanimous, or it's not going to be agreed upon at first. I feel ultimately whatever the funds are will be granted. Okay. But back to Trump, there could be something that an opportunity coming to Trump here. A legal gift, a legal offering, a legal opportunity. I feel like it's something that's already been judged, already been decided. It could be a legal gift of some kind. It's like, here, take it, take it. But it's being refused or countersued, if that makes sense. Now, something is being blocked here legally. And we know Trump is trying to block everything, basically everything, right? Something is being blocked. But we know Trump is trying to block several things. So the cards are saying that there's some sort of justice ruling. It could be a court justice ruling, judge ruling. Courts will favor Congress, I believe. Courts will favor Congress. Um, I feel courts will favor and go in favor of this woman, or a female judge will surprise us with her decision on another layer, okay? Um, Now, clarifying this gift of precious stones, when it's next to falsita in a reading, it means bribery. So there's a bot judge here, or there's someone who's in charge of some sort of um, law or legal team. I mean, this could be bar. Somebody is bought. Could even be Rosenstein. I have to look into Actually, I looked into Rosenstein, why why he flipped. And when I did look at it, I felt I needed to not say anything. Say is these are some conniving people, man, and sometimes I they get you to not even trust yourself. How can I explain what I'm trying to say? Is like when people are trying to keep a secret, the cards keep their secret. It's like there's a secret, but you can't see what it is. So there's some kind of reason why Rosenstein did what he did. But he's lost my trust. He's lost my trust, although I see something fishy or double crossing or flip sided in his actions. And he really, I guess, he really, is able to, even Barr was able to do that. None of us were able to see exactly where Barr was coming from until after the fact. I guess really good liars know how to be that way. They should teach Trumps how to lie. But there's something Rosenstein is definitely playing the double cross, double cross. That's all I can say. He's playing a double cross, double cross, So I don't know what to believe, but something ain't right. Okay. I got off on a tangent. I hope I haven't confused anybody. So there's someone who's bribed, I feel. There's someone who's bribed here. Could be an influential judge, an influential ruling. Or it could be that the funds requested might be used for something other than what. That can't be it. I don't know enough about how government works to make that statement, but I just feel like there's a double cross here. That's all I can say. Maybe someone who's got reputation, someone who's well known for their reputation as being just, fair, objective, following the rule of law. Someone is bought. There's bribery here. And a fortuitous deal being arranged. Hold on, guys. Come here, Amanda. Out, out, out. Sorry, that was going to be a real bad experience if I didn't get her out of the room right there because she's looking out the window, my dog, at someone who's walking their dog, and she just tries to jump out of the window. My dog is huge, by the way, and so cute. So again, like I said, there's some deal going on, and there's some sort of terms that are being understood and met. Um, but maybe dubious use of the funds. I'll say it. Maybe there's going to be dubious use of the funds. Um, and like I said, maybe someone who is bought is not fair and objective. Okay. All right. Two of Swords. Before we start with the Two of Swords, go back to Justice. Like I said, someone is making some sort of legal decision or big decision or ruling. And like I said, it looks like that ruling or decision, it could be about Trump's money here, over Trump's money, over his treasure chest, over his accounts, over his inheritance. And there's blocking here. There's blocking of the female. This is my Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House. Although this is a male figure in Sibilla, it can also be a female. And this person is in charge of the House. It could be a politician. Anyway, a lot of stalling and blocking. This is also Barr getting his energy. Blocking one's legal rights. One's legal rights. Or a just call. Or questioning the fairness and the objectivity of the judge, of the person in charge, which could be Barr, of a ruling. There's something that's being questioned, the fairness and the objectivity of it, or the balance of it. Um, Again, we're probably just getting into the negotiations of this deal, so let me just get out of that. And then questioning, what side is he really on? Well, we know now what side Barr is on, but I think this is Rosenstein. What side is he really on? Like I said, it's dubious. It's very dubious, and there's a double cross, double cross. I'm also seeing some Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham showed up today, guys, amongst others of Trump's advocates or lawyers. There's disagreement and butting of heads between lawyers, between politicians. Um, hmm. And we know that Barr is supposed to speak, right? But he doesn't want to speak to lawyers instead of the politicians. So he's trying to block, but the block will be overturned, okay? Because this is blocking, and this is blocking. This is unblocked. I hope I'm reading that right. That's what I'm believing that I'm just what I'm getting. Is that right? Because someone is getting their wish. I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm kind of like I'm just trying to figure this out. Like I said, there's so many like different layers and people involved, and all of them are plotting and scheming. They're all plotting and scheming. So what's truth here? Because there's a surprise and there's a wish granted, and Trump is the recipient of this wish granted. This, but at the same time, a ruling goes in the favor of the woman. So maybe there's two different things. Okay, so let me try to get a little organized. There could be some ruling or choice or decision. And it's quite obvious that it's not fair. There's such a stark difference um, in the way the rules apply to whites and the way the rules apply to blacks, or the way the rule applies to Trump and way the rule applies to the Democrats. I'm getting a lot of layers. There's such a stark difference, and it's so obvious that it's not fair. Okay? But let me stay focused. I feel like this is Barr being questioned. So I do feel that after a stalemate, perhaps after even subpoena if necessary, because this is something legally delivered and given. After some stalemate, I do feel Barr has to speak, but there's still unworthiness and untrustworthiness and a lot of hype and cunning and coyness, acting like I never said that, or a contrast to what they said before. A lot of excuses. Just a lot of bullshit. Jesus. Someone is double crossing Trump here as well, and I'm not sure who it is. I don't know if it's Rosenstein. I don't know if it's Pelosi. I don't know if it's Barr. I doubt it. I don't know if it's Graham. Somebody is double crossing Trump here. So maybe perhaps it's best for me to just let them remain disguised, whoever it is. I won't try to unthread it. Good for you. So let's go to the protector and the pensioner. They're both reversed. Someone is unable to comply to the request of either Pelosi or Trump due to circumstances outside of their control. Something just suddenly came up, as Marsha Brady would say. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. But I can't comply with you, sir. I can't comply with you, madam, with your request, with what you want me to do. So this could be McGahn, because I am duty bound by law. I am duty bound and legally bound. So this creates conflict. I am duty bound or legally bound by law, or I'm duty bound or legally bound and loyal to my president. You know, so it creates conflict. I feel like they both have that conflict that they're sharing. And Congress as well. And like I said before, someone is in such stark contrast to what they said before. It's kind of ridiculous. It's so obvious. This could be Graham. It could be Trump. It could be someone else. It's just ridiculous. It's so obviously different. And Okay, I want to go back here. I don't want to say Supreme Court, but I see court justice. For me, Supreme Court would be the judgment card. I feel like this is a court justice or possibly a court ruling or big decision, and someone's clashing opinion, perhaps about same sex equality in marriages or relationships, same sex relationships, being an indulgence that the country cannot afford to make. Someone is saying that, right? So maybe someone is attacking um, Pete Buttigieg or attacking the differences. I'm sorry, I know this is really, I shouldn't have asked a general question because now I'm like all over the place. Someone could be attacking the differences between white terrorists and black terrorists, or domestic terrorism and foreign terrorism on our soil. What's the difference? Why don't the laws apply to both the same way? And then someone is attacking, I believe, like same-sex relationships or marriages. Possibly this is a politician, Pete Buttigieg's marriage. This country can't afford to have an indulgence like that. Someone is making that kind of rude comment. It could be old Lindsey Graham here with his little old dress on. This is, I don't know why he always comes out, the blonde woman with his little old dress on. And he's still courting Trump. And he's being sickening sweet in what he's saying and how he's uh, enabling Trump. It's just disgusting. All right. This Pensioner reversed. I'm getting the McGahn energy again as I look at the cards. I feel like Trump is trying to deadlock McGahn speaking, but I don't think he can. But he's getting his wish somewhere. I think he's getting that money in this big deal. So I'm a little iffy who's getting their wish here. Um, I guess because I'm just kind of reluctant to give it to Trump. Um, but okay, so he's trying to deadlock him again, but I don't think he can. All right? I feel like the law goes in favor of the Congress or what's right. And there's going to be a lot of red tape here that Congress will be forced to deal with that could be ignored but isn't ignored. And again, both this justice card and this priest card both speak of karmic justice will be served. But I feel so what's right will be served, what's right will be rendered in spite of attempts to bribe or to shift sides, despite attempts to block by Trump and his White Walkers. Because they'll certainly attempt to block but I'm feeling like we're trying to block other things too. That's why I'm so scattered. Block money, block Trump's records and money and all that too. By any means necessary. Trump and his White Walkers will try to block by any means necessary blonde woman. So back to the pensioner reverse. This is someone who's not real, they're not legit. and they do a bad job. And I feel like this is saying that someone is being denounced with those words or with that understanding. They're not real, they're not legit, they do a bad job. We can't afford to have a country with a man married to a man running the country. Somebody saying some shit like that. Okay? Um, and then this could also be Trump denouncing McGahn. Because, like I said, there's some parties, somebody, there is betrayal. And I guess according to Trump, who does comply and does speak, right? Does speak. So now they're being denounced. Not real, not legit. They do a bad job. Whoever goes against Trump is being denounced as not legit or untrustworthy, perhaps even immoral. And that's also something that we know that, oh, this has so many layers and it's all just, I wonder what else, if we saw it at the, if I went through it at the end of this week, what we could reveal. Because after the fact, you can see it so clearly and then it's easier to get the answers. But so this is also Biden saying that about Trump. This is Trump denouncing the justice system, the political system, and all of his political rivals and political candidates. Denouncing their money or their worth or their campaign or their value. And also denouncing them if they accommodate the invites of Congress, their requests or accusations. All right? So with this Two of Swords here, there is this need to confront the situation. There's a need to confront this bully, okay? There's a need to confront an advisor or a justice ruling or a decision that's surprising and questionable, which cannot be ignored any longer. Maybe if someone makes a statement like that about Buttigieg, it will have to be, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to play out to be. There's a need to confront these words or this denunciation or this bully, this exploiter. But it's almost as if it's the wish of the exploiter, it's the wish of Trump for them to do what, it's like he's forcing them to do it. It's almost as if he wants them to impeach him. And I feel like on one level it's that, and he also wants to create deadlock. He wants to create divide. And someone, like I said, is doing the double cross flip. They're playing both sides. Someone is being tricky. It could be a female, it could be Pelosi, it could be someone else. Someone is being tricky and using false indecision, could be Graham, using false indecision to hide behind Does that make sense? Using false indecision to hide behind, meaning they already actually have decided. The indecision, the uncertainty is the ruse. But they're not oversharing that. Okay, so let's finish up this reading. The last two cards I have, you can't see this one over here. We have, and they clarify the Nine of Cups here. Can I scoot this back a little bit more? Yeah. That way you can see. So Falsita reversed and the prisoner reversed clarify the Nine of Cups, which is someone getting what they want. Someone enjoying this divide, someone enjoying this ruse. Okay, I feel like this is saying that a false person's machinations are going to be discovered, perhaps through their questioning. This could be Barr, this could be McGann, could be something about Trump, could be something about someone else. But a false person's machinations, their schemes, their plots will be discovered through the questioning. Their oversharing with Trump will be discovered through the questioning, right, by these lawyers. And their true colors will be revealed. I feel like the Nine of Cups is a collective energy now. And it's saying we'll all see this happen. We'll all see this, right? It'll be surprising. Huh. Kind of like shock. Don't want to say shock. It's just so much. So many plots and schemes, so much. Is this making sense to anybody out there? I hope so. But there could be a surprising discovery of plots and schemes, maybe within the campaign or between Trump and his White Walkers. But I see lots and lots of money and fraud and swindles and deceit. And someone has a get out of jail free card and their wish is about to come true. Someone is getting out of jail or getting out of something that they were legally bound to or bound to do. They're getting out of it. Or someone could be getting out of jail or prison and there is some desire or effort to block this, perhaps by this blonde woman or by a collective group of women or just the collective in general. Or there's the questioning of the motives, why this person is getting out. Why is this person getting out? I feel like someone is questioning, why is this person getting out? They're questioning like a legal ruling. Why is this person getting out? They're obviously not to be trusted. Why is there one law for this guy and another law for that guy? Someone is getting out, or they're not going to jail, or they're not staying in jail, they're not staying behind bars. And it's kind of like outrageous. And it's so it's so obvious that this person is still plotting and scheming the downfall of his enemy. So how can you grant, maybe this is one of the questions asked, how can you grant the ruling to release this guy? Or to release this female? Someone is getting freed. Could be a male or a female, it could be both, but there's still danger present, I feel, the cards are saying. There's still danger present. They are still plotting and scheming. There's still, there's the presence of being conned and misled. And for the opportunity, a big opportunity for plots and schemes to be fulfilled, right? So I hope this reading made sense. I feel like there's some sort of removal of a blockage, maybe whatever Trump is trying to block um, Congress from seeing, perhaps with his money or the bank. I feel like that blockage will be removed by a legal ruling, but then it will be questioned, the fairness of that. Both sides are coming out attacking like that. I'm just a long reading, but I'm almost done. And then someone speaks and their testimony is attacked. Um, Somebody speaks and their testimony is still untrustworthy. There's a lot of hype around it. There's a lot of hype and talk about, okay, let's bring in Mueller. It's time to bring in Mueller. It's time to bring in the big guns, right? There's a lot of hype and talk about it towards the end of the week. Or, this could play out in perhaps a week or two. And there's a lot of people playing mind games and playing games with time to delay and playing games with words to in, to compel emotions and create associations, if that makes sense. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. I know that it was a little cryptic, but again, it was a general reading. I didn't ask any specific questions. Um, yeah, so leave your comments, and I hope you enjoyed. And we'll talk to you soon. I'm sure I'll have another reading up for you this week, a political one. Please make sure to join me on Patreon, support the channel, donate, and subscribe. Thank you guys, and hit the like button. Love you. God bless. Oh, and don't forget to check out my Love Attraction Candles infomercial at the end of this video. Thank you. Bye.